join us. I don't know if I even pronounce that. Rendlesham Forest UFO. Oh, I just caught this. So it's in Britain. Forest. It's like near Air Force Base, I guess, where the nuclear weapons, and there was a UFO sighting there. Basically, just a UFO is flying through a bunch of nuclear weapons that was there to blow the planet up, basically. So it connected to some of those energies or whatever that needs to be said about that, or anything that's part of our future, where we're heading into. Kind of continue with that theme. But yeah, it's interesting. We had, what was it, in Brazil? We had the last sighting recently, or a couple of years ago, or had a, whatever it was. I think the alien being that was running through a couple of them that are running through the city somewhere in South Africa, South America. I don't even remember. So it was on my YouTube channel, and I have it backed up somewhere. So either way, also Denver, Colorado. That's kind of like an elitist. It's not normal there. Yeah, I'm not going into all the details of that. It's where some of your elite live. Of course, they live everywhere, but one of the main hubs is Denver, Colorado, where they have the Blue Horse at the airport. They even made a joke about all the conspiracies about the whole airport. So even put stuff, propaganda around the airport and whatever. So yeah. So as the state of the world today, just same old, I guess, to some level. All right, so we're going to just basically a point of view of where things are heading, or some kind of we're going to some of this UFO sighting energy, not a whole lot. It's not that important, really. Times.com, private sessions. We have a scheduler. And a shop. And yeah, I still have to fix that. Yeah, it kind of messes things up when it does that. Yeah, it does mess it up. I don't know why it does that. I can ask support about that, but they don't never do anything, so it doesn't hurt to ask, I guess. All right, we're going to UFO sighting that was in Britain. I can go into. Let me show something on this, just for the sake of doing so. Something like that. We'll get it figured out one of these days. Click on the right stuff. Okay. So obviously it's the force, something like that, and it's the spaceship, I guess, that was floating around. Interesting. ET, go home. I'm not sure what kind of incident occurred there, but yeah, nuclear weapons and all that in that area. There's I guess that's the Air Force Base or whatever, nuclear base or whatever it was. Yeah, it just lands there. Interesting. So do some of these connections. I'm not going to go too deep into this one. Yeah, I'm not into all the drama and everything. I've had enough of that already. We have enough as it is. Just the sake of tapping into it. So, all right, we're going to this. I think we're going to the Zeta energies, and just give you some insight of the ET beings that are connected to us. give you a point of view, and we'll go to Denver, Colorado, and see what they have to say. Oh yeah, there's another thing. So in the thumbnail, I have an alien. For some reason, the AI art wants to put like a backpack on him. He has his nasty tail. I don't like the tails. But anyways, this astronaut's playing chess. So this is a little bit of symbolism also, because I get the energy of doing the binoculars. So even in dream state, binoculars is like looking into the future. So I've been putting AI art with that. And chess is also like we're part of a game. So it's almost like a dream state, image here, technically. But there is some symbolism here. And you have the astronauts are on the moon playing chess. And so just kind of giving you a little bit of a, and of course, there's also the point of view. So if you see your life as a chess, I'll go into all the details, but if you look at life from a chess point of view, like life is a game, basically. Technically, that's why you got Biden, or it's a clown show, whatever you want to call it, or just like a nightmare. It's just I imagine a lot of people wouldn't believe our reality even exists. I don't think a lot of us can believe it even exists. Of course, it's a simulator, but still exists. However you want to look at it, you're still part of it of some form. Maybe it's only a couple of people here, and everybody, it's just projections of ourselves. Whatever. You can go on for that one forever. So, okay, but it's happened to like the chess game in general for humanity. It's almost like it's like who will fall off, who will lose, but then you have to play again. And we're just going into a hypersensitive awareness of ourselves. Basically, astral is kind of like dropping hints that it exists, at least on a more, because there's all the social media stuff. Of course, you already have that with your mediums and all that. They already, this stuff's been around for a while, just in its niche. But obviously, the numbers are getting bigger. Of course, it's getting more out there at the same time. But take what you can get. But either way, we're just going into this new. You can say like a hypersensitive awareness. Of course, not everybody's going to go through it, but like we have AI stuff coming in. So and then you have robot people will show up eventually, and then only thing we're missing is the alien starships. So there'll be a time for it. I mean, we have the robot society coming in, sort of, kind of. So eventually the alien stuff, but who knows when that'll occur. We all go through phases, or stages, however you want to word it. But if you go for connected chess reality, obviously, I mean, even the news organizations are like religion, like their own religion, and once again, kind of like putting a blanket around people who are just not ready for what's really out there. Connected to the universe. They're always testing us to see how far we can go. If you want to take a step, further to know about yourself, on a higher conscious level or unconscious level, whatever you want to look at it. And obviously society keeps going backwards, keeps sabotaging itself and all that. So it's going to do that anyway. But so we'll see where. Of course, those that are evolving spiritually, some of them become extremely arrogant. So then you have that. I'm 5D, I'm 6D, I'm 8D, whatever. So then you have that. Makes it. It doesn't make it very entertaining. And of course, those that have everything, the postcard relationships, kids, and all that, and are miserable, and then they come after you. I had that with the UFO conference. It's like, I was just surprised. Some It's like I'm getting attacked at this place. Seriously. It's like, come on over here so we can beat the crap out of you. It's like, jeez, whatever. Yeah, spiritual conference. Yeah, okay. I guess that's what they call it. Like sabotage conference. So we're going to UFO sighting energies. Basically this whole Britain situation, and we'll just go on further from that and endeavor. Greetings via Zetas. Of course, we're connected to you from other realities, hypersensitive realities. Well, we come from the extreme realms of putting our societies to their brink, and you're kind of doing that here. So there are, as you can probably see, like with nuclear war and all that, you are, doesn't mean you're getting close to it, but you're kind of like on the border of, at least, not to say world destruction, no, but this world does test itself, as you can see. And that's why Zeta energies come through, kind of to, assist your planet from getting too close to its demise. You do it on so many different levels. Yes, you might have UFO crafts working, to stop World War III, but also many of you are on the ground doing the same thing energetically. So it's on different levels. Of course, there's also shadow government, energies, and so on. So how many of you have an aspect of you in the shadow government? Not that you have to think too deeply into that, but you'd be surprised. Yeah, it's just, this is not just a one incarnation, it is multiple incarnations here, multiple levels. Those of you that are here to assist humanity. And yes, this incarnation here might be a slow bore, but that's the frequency that's been brought here. That's the manipulations here. That's the test. It's everything. And, it's the reality that is, accepted here. So you go with it. It's just like, you might not like the food and the environment, but it is just like any other, war incarnation. We look at World War II. That wasn't exactly the easiest. Of course, World War I. This is like being in the trenches, basically. For those of you that are really struggling right now, and it's just outside your comfort zone, but that's kind of the point. Yes, it can push you to your edge. This is war. You don't have to look at it that way. You don't have to look too deeply into the drama of that, but it is quite intense, as you can see. Well, hopefully some of these words actually helps those that are going through a lot to realize you are in a war zone, even if looks like it's normal, which is not. It calls itself, well, that's just the reality that's been brought here. As for the UFO incident in Britain, yes, it's just, well, you can say there were nuclear weapons that were technically going to be tested or planned on. That was kind of like a warning with the UFO visit to, don't do these things too. So this is, and right now we don't really see a nuclear threat, but still society is kind of imploding on its own in some ways. Of course, the mind can take you to all kinds of places. It can take you to a nice place. It can take you to a miserable place, and so on. Also, you're testing your body to, see what your body can handle for all this. It's kind of like a stress test to some level. But this is how you grow your soul too. Well, especially those that are extremely worried about nothing. And this whole World War III threat is a test. 2012 was a test. That was the end of the world was coming then. Also, there's going to be an end of the world. You'll most likely not see it coming. Then again, some of you might see it, but you probably have seen hundreds of versions of it. And some do manifest it. Or manifest themselves to a version of Earth that will, destroy itself. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean this one will. This one has its flaws, as you can see. This is where it gets a little strange. I mean, some of you already are aware of this, but there's so many different versions of Earth that are intertwined together. It's kind of like a rug, like all these different patterns, but they're all different versions of Earth. And you don't have to think too deeply in this, like you go to Earth to assist, but sometimes you go to the most difficult ones to, keep it above water because if it starts to drown, it can take other worlds with it. So, not that it would happen here, but it's like you know, there will be always a way of keeping this world from being destroyed. But many of you agreed to be taken on those positions to, you know, to keep this world from, like I said, there'll always be somebody to take your spot if you just fail or just give up or whatever it might be. Always, I mean, yeah, they'll feel a weakness, but they're all prepared for, that's what they call it, a ground crew. And yeah, this is one of the harder incarnations, but it does take you to a whole nother level too. You can say a higher ranking on the long run without the ego and give you more responsibilities on a different level. It also can help you become a better spirit guide. I mean, you can have an aspect of you as a spirit guide and do other hundreds of other things at the same time. And so it's just like you're just trying to get better, you could say. At what is not always going to be clear. Clearing out insecurities. But realize also those of you that have been through a great deal, that's not your own last rodeo. Sometimes you have to go through these challenges. I mean, is that to give your not necessarily your sole purpose, but of course this world can give you all kinds of purposes. But to come to a world like this, a lot of times you go to other difficult worlds before you come to this one. And sometimes, yeah, you might have an aspect of you that is, living, the life, things are perfect and all of that. But then a world like this is suffering. So you take that higher frequency energy and you find either karmically, you do a karmic incarnation to bring you here. Sometimes this kind of like intertwines you. So like you're now karmically here to assist. Basically, you might have a negative incarnation here cause trouble, but also there's probably some positive also. It's like to really karmically lock you into the planet. So when the beings here try to wipe you out, they can't. Because you're kind of, there's a way of doing it. Well, it's like you're kind of like incarnate as a dictator or whatever it might be. Like there's some darkness there, but there's also good there, and that doesn't mean you balance it out. But like sometimes take incarnations that are insane. Not everybody does that, but some do. Well, it's not for it's not everything can be explained here, as you know. But hopefully this is a wake-up call for many of you on a higher level to just realize what your soul is going through currently instead of what you've been in past lives, a secret space, which some have trouble letting that go. For some, that's the ultimate escape. But if you look at what you're going through now, it can help you heal great ways. So, but some that need a popularity contest, like they need to be popular. I think some of you have seen that. What's this? Greensiu, consciousness of Denver, Colorado. It is a place of kingship, of royalty. It is similar to Great Britain. Even has a lot of control energies. Not exactly like Britain, but it has even also like a bit of a king queen frequency there. Well, it has to do with the portals that are there. It has to do with the water. It has to do with the mountain frequencies of Colorado. Also connections to Atlantis. So on a multi-dimensional level, there's Atlantean technologies there that can't be seen in your reality. A lot of crystal structures, things of that kind, of course, connected to Agartha. And now realize also like the Atlanteans doing doing experiments on dragon beings and elf beings and taking their DNA and putting it into the human here or doing all kinds of things, super soldier energies and so on. And so part of your pharmaceutical companies also that are enhancing humans. but not always. Well, they test it on humans, as you can see. For the better or for worse, that's probably where a lot of cancers are. Well, the chemical warfare also. Well, they do the chemical warfare just to keep you from seeing what's going on here, because they agreed to the alien agendas, as you can see, and it's not just the government; it's just your timeline, your world agreed to it. So you can say your government this and that and all you want, but your world agreed to it also. So this is a world growth, you can say. And some are just clearing out a lot of self-doubt. So those of you spiritually on your path, depending on where your mind is, just can see a great deal of where this world is going. You don't have to know all the details. But like for Denver, yes, Denver, sometimes you just got a place you just got to stay away from. And then others, that's their home, because there's a lot of reptilian control grids there. It's like, as you can see. Some like that reptilian frequency that would control others. Obviously, there's another reptilian group that's want to heal it. But there's a narcissistic energy here, as you can see. And it's all part of healing the universe, you can say. This world plays such a large part in how the universe operates. It just pulls on it. It just has a lot of its shadowy characters here. So, blessings.